Law and disorder in Dem-led cities now sparking even more outrage. A New York City bodega clerk is locked up in Rikers and charged with murder after he was forced to grab a knife and fend off a violent ex-con who assaulted him first. Watch this horrifying video. You see the career criminal Austin Simon right here storm behind the counter and violently shove the clerk, Jose Alba, a grandfather, to the floor. He gets up, he's grabbed again. That's when Alba grabs a knife and stabs and kills Austin. And now Alba is behind bars. His bail is set at $250,000, while violent criminals are released without any bail at all, courtesy of far-left Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg. The New York Post calling it justice gone mad, insisting that self-defense isn't a crime, and writing in an op-ed that Bragg has turned this city upside down and it's time for him to go. Especially after his soft-on-crime policies keep giving breaks to the repeat offenders you're seeing now on your screen. As he downgraded the charges for these armed robbery and assault suspects. Kaylee, the list goes on. We have too many to literally name in this hour, but they include things like a LaRon Mack who had a rap sheet of 6 felony arrests, 65 misdemeanors, 31 failures to appear in court, and 2 parole violations. 2 women accused of attacking cops. The list goes on. And yet when there's a situation such as this that seems so cut and dried, why is it that Alba is maintained behind bars, not on bail to go free, when this city is littered with people who have been released with no bail or on bail for horrifying crimes?
Emily, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. What kind of sick, twisted place are we sitting in here in the middle of New York City where this man who was defending himself is put in jail? Another element to this is apparently the girlfriend is alleged to have had a knife with her and to have used it against this man. She also left the convenience store to go find Simon. So Simon came back reportedly about 10 minutes later with a mission to confront this individual. As you point out, shoved him against a wall. As you point out, grabbed him on the back of a neck, and all he did was defend himself. Alba has no criminal history. He's just a good, hardworking person who immigrated to this country and has been a law-abiding citizen. His daughter said it was either him or the guy at the moment. He's never hurt anybody. He's never had an altercation where he had to defend himself. This is the first time for him. So you have to make a choice between your life or going to Rikers Island, which we all know is a pretty brutal place. But Emily, thank goodness we live in a country that's trial by jury. I hope these charges are dropped. You would know better than I whether they will be. In the event that they're not, I believe a jury of his peers will acquit Alba. Thank God we live in that kind of country.
And Harris, to be clear, self-defense is a defense to a murder charge, right? And we saw in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, for example, what successful, lawful self-defense looks like per the jury there in that case, as Kaylee talked about. But I think, broadening out this discussion, what makes it so hard to stomach, though, is exactly what we were just talking about, where when we hear of these repeat violent assaults along the streets of Manhattan day after day after day with nothing done about it, and these guys being let loose, let free every single time, the more we learn about the guy that was killed. He was a known gang member, would often talk about being in a gang. And the granddaughter of Alba, the one incarcerated right now, she said, if there's any justice left in the judicial system, please let it work here, in the place where I was born and raised, Harlem. I don't know if that's going to happen.
We're at war. It's crime victims versus the criminals. And it would seem that these liberal district attorneys have chosen their side. And if they haven't chosen a side, then they're incompetent to let us know what they're going to do to change it. But they're not going to change it. I mean, look, the mayor's own top aide was just mugged in the city, okay, just a couple days ago. And the aide tells the guys who were mugging him, you shouldn't be doing this. I work for the mayor. First of all, keep your mouth shut. That could make you a further target. That's not going to help your cause. These guys know they can get away with anything with anybody. And when you send that message, it then becomes contagious. So let's pray that it's not contagious at the bench level with a judge. Let's pray that when it gets into a courtroom, that justice remains blind and isn't getting a head spun by George Soros's money the way that the liberal DAs are. Let's pray that that happens. Because if it gets contagious at that level, it won't just be a war. It'll be the situation where you may as well put your weapons down because the criminals are going to win every one. Right now, I'm still willing to fight.
And part of what was so heartbreaking, Todd, in that video is, you see Alba there. He said, quote, "I don't want no problems." He tried again and again to prevent what was an attack over and over again. If there's any demonstration that this is self-defense, that he did not provoke the attack, which is part of the analysis of self-defense, it is certainly all there on video. And yet, as the Post writes, get caught with an illegal gun, released without bail, shove an elderly person to the ground, killing them, attack someone because they're Asian, slap on the wrist, shoplift numerous times, and again, nothing. But defend yourself, Rikers.
You touched on a very important point, and at the risk of getting too legally wonky, not only did this individual engage in commensurate return of force, which, as we all know, the lawyers on this panel know, you're allowed to do. If somebody comes at you with a knife, you're allowed to go at them with a knife. The charge in this case is second-degree murder. We all know there has to be a level of premeditation or extreme recklessness for there to be a murder charge. Murder requires a mental state. To your point, this guy said, "I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble." This is clearly self-defense, yet for the DA to upcharge this case the way he did and not upcharge, oh, I don't know, every other incident of horrificness.
You mean
in the
criminals?
City. Oh,
he
actual
upcharged
criminals.
on a victim.
Yes.
Not a criminal.
Yes.
That's my point. He's already picked his side.
It goes to this overall point, Harris, that we see not just from Alvin Bragg, but from liberal DAs across the country. This notion that self-defense is not something that the people should do. You shouldn't have guns. You shouldn't defend yourself. All your protection should be in the hands of the state. This is what the liberal elite want. They want to be in charge, and it is sickening.
You're right. And just to be clear, the premeditation folds in under the murder in the first, but it absolutely is an upcharge. And I love how you phrase it. It's criminals against victims, because again, the deceased here, the attacker, he was the one that was incarcerated several times for multiple violent crimes. And yet he was released from prison in May 2021, just in time to absolutely ruin someone's life.
And I think that Harris is right, that we are at war and it is criminal versus victim. And it's always been that way. The odd thing that's happening right now is that the progressive prosecutors have chosen a side and they're choosing to defend the criminal as opposed to the victim. They're acting more like defense attorneys. And Todd, you're right. It is not just in New York. It's across the country. The recall effort is moving forward in Los Angeles with George Gascon. They've handed in over 700,000 petitions. And one of the women who's been one of the most vocal advocates for the recall of Gascon is a woman named Cortland Bridges, whose daughter was murdered in 2020, just a few weeks after she had a baby boy. She had a tough pregnancy and she wanted to go watch the sunset. So she rented some bikes with her husband and was shot in the chest and killed. And now her son does not have a mother, and she was murdered for absolutely no reason. And one of the defendants was sentenced to no jail time at all because he was 17 years old at the time. He was a minor. He was given 80 hours of community service, and he's being encouraged to go to college. And Cortland recently spoke out and said, regarding the guy who got no jail time, when you make grown-up decisions, you have to pay grown-up consequences. I want justice. Really quickly, she also said to Gascon, "You killed my daughter. You have that on your back." And she also called Gascon a crime boss because there are a lot of people in jail that are cheersing him because of his soft on crime policies.
Yeah, that's right.
They mention him by name behind bars.
Yep. Praising him. And who's not behind bars? The 13,000 cases that he dismissed from his office since 2020 because they don't conform to his special directives. That's LA DA Gascon, soon to be former LA DA Gascon, if this recall is successful, which I think it will be. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.